Morning, folks. Sorry, slightly delayed here. Slightly delayed. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. Right, we're going to get through this fast because I've missed a few minutes here. Let's get through the daily. All right, daily opening out near the lower Bollinger Band in this low volume node. We still have targets below, but we're probably going to need to build out more liquidity and have some news before we get there. All right, as an idea of where we are since the highs now, the pullback now is 10%. All right, still healthy, nothing like a bear market. Under 20% we can think about a bear market, and 13% is what I'd like to see, which will be down into this old high. All right, so starting to come a little bit overextended here after we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days in a row. I'd like to see a snap and flush before a return back up. That would be really, really healthy for the market. But we'll see what we get. On the hourly, you're going to see that we're starting to rotate and build out liquidity. All right, this right here, very clear. All right, so we've poked in overnight lows, no acceptance beyond overnight lows. I'm just going to remove this overnight profile. Right, no acceptance below overnight lows, no acceptance underneath previous day value area low right now, getting stuck at previous day point of control, current week point of control. Right, so there are options this morning. This was the choppy zone yesterday. If sellers can't defend that, all right, and we start to see this and a hold, all right, of this, then we have sort of a W shape down here on an H1 for the relief rally. If pokes up are defended, all right, if we poke up here and they are sold off and we fail to reclaim overnight value, previous day point of control, previous day value area low, then we're looking for a rotation back down to test overnight low. All right, that's as simple as it gets. We want to see a push and hold, or a push and fail to give us a trigger. If we flush the open, then we're going to look for the same thing. They're either going to hold overnight value, they're going to sweep overnight value, or they're going to fail and extend down. This is an expected move today into another low volume node that's from pre-market. All right, so we will just see. I think there might be two down there, or just one big one that I did. All right. Gamma wise, we're neutral. All right, we're neutral right now. We're not in negative gamma, so might have some chop in here while we make up our mind. Remember, above this, we can get going. This is expected move pre-market for upside. Expected move otherwise from yesterday is up into this supply block. So there is a chance to move higher if they can catch a bid today. Lots of it is going to depend on the semiconductors. Right, and we will have a look at those shortly. Let's move you into a 5-minute here so you can see what's going on. There's the W formation. All right, so this is the question at the bell. Are we going to see this? 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 All right, one of these is going to happen. We're just going to have to wait, and I'm going to keep my eye on the semis so that I understand what's going on. ES, kind of similar, but relative strength right now, all right, because not as related to the semiconductors. They're important, but not as important. All right, coming up back up into an old shelf, we can flip these over. And you, my son. That not flip. All right, so same kind of story here. Right, into a cool wall. We'll see if dips hold this morning. Most things are starting to flatten out. When you look at VWAP, 24-hour VWAP, PDC, put wall, neutral zone, everything's pretty tight in here. All right, starting to flatten out. All right, making a sort of bottoming formation. If they hold that, relief is possible after that big sell day where we went straight down without a bounce. It's possible. If they just push and fail and start to fail in here, then lower prices still. All right, lower prices still. If you zoom out on ES, it's looking much better than NQ. It's still holding inside here, really. All right, so you'd be watching. At the moment, we're back inside that node. All right, so you're watching that node there, 20s, under 20s, weakness you can see. At the moment, it's back inside. It's a relative strength in ES. Okay, let's go through these charts. Dixie, all right, coming back in a bit, but still continuing to hold. All right, so no further breakout yet, but still continuing to hold, still very dangerous. I think the move on this will be after FOMC. VIX, still continuing in this channel here, which I've said, very dangerous. It reminds me very much of this. All right, and you can see this old channel which I talked about, which held and held and held and held and held, and once we got them based above 20, there came the huge move. It's reminding me of that quite a lot. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that if they can't get this back down into the low teens. Crude, holding on here on the daily. All right, so pushed back in to the chop zone, pull back. The question is, does it set a higher low and return higher, or is this a dead cat bounce which is going to get washed out? We're going to have to watch and see. Most of that's going to depend on the war news. Stuff that I'm really interested in is over here. All right, so on the mag, gapping up this morning into yesterday's range. You can see we've got day 4 of a build out. All right, day 1, day 2, day 3. This will be day 4. All right, that's our pin low. This is our pin high from yesterday. That's the range being set. All right, that's the midpoint of the range. If mag get up to the midpoint and sell and start breaking down, obviously it's a very, very risk-off scenario. If they're able to rotate and hold and get back to the top sign, it's a pretty good sign that they might want to come back up here. So that's what we're watching on mag. I want to see how it acts at this midpoint in a 4-day range. All right, SOXL, weak. You would have seen Asia markets sold off hard yesterday. Those new Chinese and Korean semis got absolutely nuked overnight. All right, is that because of what happened yesterday? Right, or is that going to increase further reaction on semis? I'm going to watch semis down here into 100. Okay, it's very, very simple. If they can't reclaim previous day low, right? If they reclaim previous day low, it's a look below and fail, and we come an inside bar, right? And maybe we get a gap fill. If not, if they can't reclaim it, right, then we're going to search for 100, and it's going to look very, very bad on the daily. This, all right. So we're breaking new lows. Here's our open. Here's 100, and after that, we've got a full gut check, all right, of where we broke out from, right? And I'm not ruling that out. I am not ruling that move out there. It's a huge, huge move, but it's very, very possible, given the macro environment, all right, that would be a 77% pullback, all right, which would basically be a fib pullback as well. So I'm not ruling that out. They're risk off on semis right now. No one wants to bid it. That's what we need to be aware of, all right? So that's what we're going to watch. IGV, finding the bid as semis get weak, which is great for some of those names that were in the software names. Look at that bid, strong, strong bid. Now I'm watching for a reclaim here, right? Build out liquidity and move higher. All right, if we fail here, back down we come. So it's the first retest of this level. I'm watching that on IGV, both for a purchase on IGV and for some of the other software names that we've been trading this year. So we'll see where we go. Right, let's have a look at individual names. Apple holding on well. All right, slight gap up there into old highs of 340. Remember, earnings coming this week, doesn't have the same, well, as far as we know, doesn't have the same spend problems on AI, isn't as pinned into CapEx as everyone else. Amazon, little gap up, again, in a range. Goog, trying to find some relief. That's a stronger gap up. That's much better, leaving liquidity lower. All right, good move yesterday, held on yesterday. All right, can it get more relief? Question mark, it might need to come back down to here. All right, it might need to do a little gut check down here before it thinks about anything further. And if it loses this on the MAG earnings this week, it would be a problem. Meta, same story here. Everyone's worried about CapEx spend, even though they said they're going to reduce it. This is all going to depend how we go this week. You can see back into the midpoint, basically, is the trade. All right, if it can get through here, chances of moving higher. Otherwise, 600 fail doesn't look too good right now. Microsoft, it is gapping up though, I'll say that. Microsoft, great move. That's fantastic. Looking much, much better. So we're going to watch dips on Microsoft now, back into this kind of zone. 390, 380s if they want to hold. Right, if they hold, then we're looking for the trade back up to 400s. If we get through 400s, we actually have room. Right, through 400s we have room. I am still long from down here and a bit earlier as well from down here, but I want to size once we break and hold. So I'm just being cautious into earnings this week. Nvidia has been the one getting clapped. All right, as you can see with semis. All right, range, boom. 190 put wall. I think we're at expected move for the week already. And it's going to start getting very, very dangerous here. In fact, let's just set some price alerts if TradingView will let me do it today. Let's set some alerts down here. Man, not allowed. I don't know what's up with TradingView. It's 2 days in a row I can't set price alerts. How frustrating. I'll have to do it on my phone. Tesla, same kind of story. All right, very, very weak in Tesla. You see they're walking this thing down. Right, they are not interested in buying this at all. Right, remember we failed 420s, we failed this, and then we've been very aggressive, and this is institutional selling now. You can see we're in a range, we're walking it down. You can't be bidding on this until you see a reaction for a reclaim, and we're just not seeing it right now. It doesn't mean it doesn't come, but if we zoom out, I mean, that is about as nasty as you get, folks, when you leave a range. This is a sign of something people don't want to own. So we are back into top side of here. You would expect some kind of bounce towards 270s, right, from 310s to 270s. If they can't do that, they're going to run these stops. All right, at the moment, it's not something people want to own. All right, that's that. Actually prepared. No big news today, although I'm sure Donald will have something to say. The big news coming tomorrow, remember FOMC, so we expect choppy action, which is probably what we're going to get. So I would be very, very careful with your sizing. All right, be careful with your sizing today. And let's see what we can get here, folks. Good luck for the session. Coming back down in 860 is. Add these on the charts before I get 885 now. This has been moved up, I think, a little bit. There we go. Right, 7 seconds left. See what we get at the open. If we come down here and hold, or if we're going to flush. There's the big shove off the open. That's previous day value area low and VWAP retest. And if they reject that, they're going to wash. If they reclaim it, they're going to try and drive up into overnight highs. As simple as that. So we're just going to wait and see. Don't forget to smash that like button nice and early, folks. I want to do some Apex giveaways today. It's rejection of value. I'm being nice and patient today. Semis popped to view up on the open and failed. Mag popped to view up and reclaimed. Semi's looking pretty weak here, coming back down to test towards overnight low. If they can't find a bid, they'll be in trouble. I'm going to wait here, either for down here or above here. That's what I'd like to wait for, one or the other. Let's see what happens when we get there. Right, semis coming into 110s. Remember, 100 is the level on semis. They're at their overnight low right now. And the question is, what happens at the overnight low? Do we move lower? Are we going to go risk off today? At the moment, it looks like it. Flushing, failure to get back inside of value, coming down to overnight value area low. I didn't want to take the short first thing this morning. I want to see if there's a reaction down here. I want to watch that 110 level on semiconductors and overnight low on semis. How to enter giveaways? I'll tell you how to enter giveaways when we're ready to do it. First of all, you got to get me to 1,200 likes today. Anchor profile. Sorry, my friend. Sorry. Right, overnight value area low and overnight low looming. VIX has found a bid to 19, so I want to see how it acts here. MAG about to close its gap to the downside. It has a big put to wall there at 63s, so that's what I'm watching to see if there is a reaction there. If not, then I think we see expansion down here today, which is the expected move. Good reaction of value at the open. Didn't really fancy trading that in the first 5 seconds of today. But let's see. Okay, MAG coming into put wall and to close the gap. Semi's still just about holding overnight low. VIX trade starting to get through the 19s here. Here's the bid on the demand. So we've wicked through overnight low. We haven't taken the overnight lows out. Wicked through overnight value area low. And this is the area where I think if they're going to form a bid, they would need to form it there. If they don't form the bid there, then we're looking for expansion move. So I'm just waiting to see if we start to trap. So there's a big reaction there. We didn't really trap very much there, I'll be honest. That is a decent reaction. If we can come a bit lower and trap some people in, if we're going to think about the long, and if we break out to the downside and fail to get back inside, we can think about the short. There's a lot of activity taking place down here. $100 points already. Yeah, it's moving fast. So what I'm waiting for is to see if we do something like this, or something like this. I'm waiting to see what happens in here. So far, some absorption. There's not been that much selling down there, but there's been a reaction. So maybe just covering. I want to see if we can come down to 50s just based on what I'm seeing on the book at the moment. Still, we're only 4 minutes into the session, so haven't even closed a 5-minute bar yet. Mag, good reaction of PDC. So they bid straight back up to VWAP. So now it's about the semis and the lows, the overnight lows and the 110s. So if they break that, then they're probably going to go 100s unless they wick it and turn inside. So this is about semiconductors right now and the Mag 7 again. It's about the rotation. Patient, 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 my friends. Here are the lows on semis. They're testing those lows. This is all about whether they crack and see follow through under 110 or not now. Mag back over VWAP. So strength in Mag, weakness in semis. So they're buying the Mag, selling the semis right now. Semis coming to 110. So through the overnight low, they're coming to the 110. This is the reaction point. They can't find a bid back inside overnight range. They're probably going to look for a sell day to 100 today. Here's the bid to try and get back inside overnight range. Watching this carefully now. Bookmap, come on. You can see how important it is. If you're watching the semis, you can see how important this is. If you look at what Mag's doing and what NQ's doing, they're not really related, but the semis are. Mag showing strength, about to come up to New York Open. Semis still heavy for now. Here comes the bid. All right, if pullbacks start to hold here, I want to try and get long for relief. Just up to the New York Open. I'm not convinced there's that much selling caught yet. And I watch this little node into 93s here. Straight through it. And they're chasing it lower. All right, just sit this out for a second. Semis new lows. Semis cracking 110. There we go. So all about the semiconductors. Semis just let go of 110. And there you go. Look at that. That's the difference in the market. I mean, it's such a big difference. I can't even get these close right now. That's the difference. Mag through the New York Open. Semis weak. Big selling in the semiconductors. This is all about the semiconductors, folks. Pre-FOMC done. I mean, we're only into overnight range. Mate, we haven't cracked the overnight lows yet. Give it a sec. The range is big, but it's that's about it. All right. Still not convinced there's enough selling down here for any type of mean reversion yet. Just seems like there's covering each time. Mag looks good. Hive day. Semi still selling. Rotation still taking place. I can't even zoom this in enough to make it make sense. That's the difference. Mag's up 0.40. IGV is basically flat. Semi's getting nuked. All right, they're down over 5%. That's the story. That's the story of the tape. They're just like, we don't want to own semiconductors. It's too extended for too long. We're out. We're done with it. We don't want to bid it. That's what they're telling you right now. And given that semiconductors have propped this market up all year, that's the trigger for downside pressure. Now, if we keep moving lower here, if we start rejecting this, we can think about the expected move down here. If it's going to be a continuation of yesterday, we're going to have to find a way of getting involved if it's truly going to do that. It's kind of odd, again, to see MAG poking up to high of day, holding New York open, and this thing being down so much. It's the weight that the semiconductors have is absolutely huge now. Semis can go down to 73s. Yes, Ron, I agree. That's what we went over pre-market. It's very, very possible that was their breakout point. That would be also be about a 78% pullback or something. But today, their target is 100. I just don't remember a market ever so dependent on one sector. I cannot remember a market in all the years I've traded so dependent on one sector. All right, MAG coming back down under open price now, and back to VWAP, and the chop is going to start here while they make a decision if they're going to sell MAG now with semis. Are we going to go in a pro sell? There's no pop to sell here. There's no retest of this since this move. It's just been a straight slide. No trade still. This is like yesterday. Just no trade. Just dump everything. We don't want to own anything. They want 100. This is a straight sell. If MAG loses PDC, that's going to be a problem. At the moment, it's nowhere near it. It's just hovering around VWAP. Maybe we're going to come into the expected move and put wall. The question is there any trade we can do to get involved? At the moment, we've broken the lows and not even come back for a retest. This might be the first retest here. Semis might come and retest 110s here. This might be what they want to do. Right, here's the push up. Look at this drive, 50-point candle here. There is a seller caught at the low. It's 76 lot. And we're going to come and test 50s here by the looks of it. Overnight low. I will watch here. I don't want to lose the same thing as yesterday. I will watch for this, like we talked about pre-market. Hopefully they can come up a bit more than they have. And I will also, if they do this, I will be cognizant of this move and just wait to see what happens when we lift up here a bit. All right, here's value area low for this session. I'm going to watch now if they're going to trap buyers or they're going to reclaim. That first attempt just got stuffed into 40. It's so quick. Oh my God. That took... $13. That was 10 seconds, if that. I don't even think it was 10 seconds from up here to down here. Crazy. The speed of the tape, man. Yeah, exactly. I can't trade this speed. That's so quick. That is so quick. Can't turn your head fast enough. Yeah, I feel the same, mate. It's been the same the last few days. All right. MAG coming down to PDC. If they start to lose the bid here on the MAG, we're going to go into a pro sell with everything together. Semis are trying to get up to 110. I'm trying to wait to see if they can get up to 110 to retest it to make a decision. At the moment, this thing's just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. We can't. This is just like yesterday. There's every pop sold, and I cannot get an entry because it will not come up high enough. It is just like yesterday morning. This is I don't want to own anything at all. The last 2 days, I want outs. Get me out. That's what they're saying. Get me out before he puts the rates up tomorrow, which is what they're worried about. What is Trump going to say if he does that? Because he's talking about rate cuts. Tell you what, there ain't going to be a fucking rate cut, Donald. You ain't got a Scooby-Doo. That ain't going to happen. If that happens, it's the most corrupt board of Fed chair members ever. He can't do a cut right now. Oh my God, it is literally like yesterday. All right, we're going to come down for put wall and expected move down here. I mean, I guess that was the entry. If you can trade within 10 seconds, I can't. That's insane. This is what we're looking for, and it's gone. It's gone. All right, MAG breaking out under previous day lows. This is tough to watch. Day 2 of sitting on hands while the market just freaks out in the morning, and we go into the same. Look at this, like yesterday. Institutional selling, just so steep. Every pop nuked. I mean, that retest was it. That was the only chance, really, after we broke down. And it was so quick. Patience, yeah, it'd be like yesterday, patience. Remember yesterday we had 100-point trade to start the day and a 200-point trade after about an hour. We will get something today, like always. It's going to require patience. It's just upsetting when you're ready for this turn from here, right? When we're ready from this. And that's it. And that's a 10-second move. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. All right, MAG wicked previous day low, reclaiming put wall and PDC and previous day low. Semi's still hanging out on a 5-minute bar close. They look like they want 100, like I've said all day. I can't see them doing anything but coming to 100 right now. They can't even get up to 110 for the retest. VIX has held 19s. It's starting to drive up towards 1950. Obviously, the 20 break is your signal for market freaking out. Is there going to be any relief here, or are we just going to come right the way down here? We're going to have like a 1-minute pullback, 1-minute pullback, and just puke. Is that all we're going to do? By the looks of it, yes. We only pull back for 1 minute. Let's just sell absolutely everything. Give no one a reasonable entry. Let's just freak the fuck out, shall we? Sell everything. Sell it. Get me out. I don't want to own a thing. No, he's going to put the rates up. The MAG are going to announce the stupid capex spend, and they're going to put rates up, and then we're going to be absolutely fucked. They're going to go into negative cash positions. It's going to be a fucking nightmare. I mean, that's what they're saying. That is absolutely what they are saying. Okay, coming down to put wall. This is the expected move based on the pre-market. I'll see if they've moved that for today now. They probably have. Yes, they're now saying we can go as low as 355. So we're into expected move from pre-market and yesterday's positioning. 60% of the time, therefore, well, 69%, 68% of the time, we'll find a bid here. Otherwise, trend day lower. All depends if market's going to freak out. At the moment, it looks like it's going to freak out. It absolutely looks like it's going to freak out at the moment. But there we go. Into this, we'll see. I'd love to see some kind of relief up here so we can make a decision. All right. It would be really, really good, market. This H1 looks literally the same as yesterday. Straight down. I'd love to come up here and make a decision. Do we do retests anymore? Apparently not. Apparently we don't do retests anymore. All right, MAG getting annihilated. Semis at 104s now. Remember, 100 is the big level. VIX's still not through the 1950s to get up to 20s. Just got to wait here. There's nothing we can do here. Sell and pray, that's not how I play, mate. I mean, it would have worked for you today. It's just not how I play. Sat on my hands, bored out my brain. Nothing I can do without some relief. All right, into the expected move, reclaiming put wall. Semis finding a bit at 104s at the moment. I'm trying to reclaim 105s. This is going to be like yesterday. Do we want to play the counter trend long back up, the hardest trade in the book? Yesterday it gave us 200 points. There's a move up here into 70s. If they, this is what we played long yesterday. If they're willing to lift it, and if we got very lucky all the way up here, which would be the 200-point move, would be just the same as yesterday. All right, here's the opening range. Let me have a think about this. Sellers caught at 09s and 69. So I will consider it. Small size, pull back long. If they're willing to hold 69s or 09s, here's the opening range. What did I say? Sorry, 11s. Oh, 09s. All right, that's the 09 hold. All right, I'm long. Let's try. Let's try small. See if we can get up to 70s or 50s here for value. Here we go. All right, so I'll lock a little piece in here, and then we'll see if we can. If we get very lucky, we get that 200-point move. This is counter trend. I expect this to be sold into, but I'm going to lock some in here, some up to 70 to 80, and then I'll try and hold on to see if we can get back to that box. I don't expect this to go back there all the way, but back down towards entry, see if it can hold on here. It's a good hold. Nice. It's literally identical to yesterday. All right, it's going to sell some in this push towards 70s here. All right, next one off here, and now I'm looking for that box above. So just a runner left. It's not bad. It's literally identical to yesterday, folks. This is the trade. All right, let's see if we can get up to that red box and VWAP. Moving my stop up in the money, chasing this higher now. That's 100 points for you, up to the 800s. I want to see it hold 60s here. Otherwise, I'm going to cut this. All right, I'm out there on the runner. Not bad. Got a maximum of 100 points out of that. I don't even mind reloading if they show willingness to hold down here. Like I said, it's just counter trend relief. Mag rejecting PDL there. VIX has come back into 19s, so this keeps getting stuck at 1950. Right, if buyers step in here again, well, consider it. I mean, it depends if semis are willing to hold here, if they're going to break lower. Right, this is the same level as before. Basically 09s and 671s. All right, let's try a nibble here. Small size again. This is all about MAG and PDC now. Can the MAG get back through 63s? Can semis hold a bid at these lows? At the moment, looks a bit iffy. And counter trend, hardest trade in the book here. They can definitely flush this lower, to be aware. I'm just trying to see if they want a bit more relief. Right, this is the test on the MAG here, 63s. We're at 62.99. We get through the 63s. Here we go, through the 63s. Let's see if we can get view up now on the MAG and see if semis want to play ball. Here we go, same trade. Peeling some off here again. Exactly the same trade as before. Beautiful. Fantastic. Here we go. We're going to look for this red box if we can. You can pull some at VWAP. literally exactly the same trade. I'm just playing against those sellers paying, the guys who traded the lows. All right, like I said, 09s, 709s, and 671s got stuck. So we're just trading them for relief. Beautiful. All right, trim some more there in front of VWAP. I'm just trying to hold a runner again. Stops now moved up to 40. There you go, out on the runner. It's exactly the same trade as before. Nothing's changed. Okay, so just going to relax now for a moment. 2 little nibbles at that. We'll see if they want to trade lower now. They've probably done their relief. Much rather if they come up here for the relief and we could get short. Mag rejected VWAP. All right, so that was the move we just talked about. That's what got us that release. All right, so if you're watching, Mag got the trade through, back through PDC up to VWAP and the pivot. There's your pivot and VWAP through the PDC. That was the relief that we just traded. All right, they needed to hold this and really this to get going. They can still do that, but they're just not there right now. Soxal, all right, is still building out liquidity here. Can't get through its VWAP. Put wall is down here at 100. It will show it at some point. I mean, what is wrong with you, TradingView? Could you be any worse right now? There you go. All right, so that's where Soxal's trying to get. Looks tight here. Seller's trying to come back in to force this lower at the moment. I think you might get a breakdown here soon. Getting very, very, very tight here. I'm watching Bookmap. It's a big battle here. We are into negative gamma now across all indexes. Remember that. MAG, SOXL, QQQ, ES, all back into negative gamma. Seven-second delay. Yeah, it's a YouTube delay. There's nothing I can do about it, mate. That's the fastest available. I think it's actually 6 seconds. It's the fastest available. I have it set everything to the fastest available. Like, you don't need to execute with me. If you listen to what I'm saying, you should be able to execute on your own. I can't. This is not a signal botting class. If you want a signal bot, go to the idiots who make you pay for, I don't know, WhatsApp groups or something. I will try and teach you how to trade. I'm trying to show you how and why. We came into the expected move. We came into the put wall. We trapped sellers for a moment. We expected relief. We got relief to VWAP. We got out. I didn't get the chance to flip short because it moved back down to my stop here, right? And if I was going to flip short, I'd want to be short here or here. So it was relief because I didn't get a chance to get any of that because that's a straight down. It's the first relief, and now they might roll. We'll see. It's literally exactly the same as yesterday. Right, let me focus in here. What the market looking like? Oh God, it looks bad out there. It looks bad. Other than XLV and XLF, which we're long in, which are good. XLF's 0.5% up. XLV 2.69% up. Other than that, it doesn't look very good out there. The broad market looks pretty bad. All right, still holding expected move for now. Semi's still holding on. They're trying to find relief. They are in a 5, 10, 15, 20 minute range down here. They are trying to hold on. They're not breaking lower yet. Now, it might just be that this becomes a huge bear flag after 20, 25, 30 minutes and they break to 100. We'll have to watch. MAG new lower day. Can we ping pong for some time? Yes, but the range is pretty big, so even in the ping pong, there's trades available. Failed to break lower so far here from short sellers. Failure to break lower. Here they come. There's so much liquidity down to 650. I'm somewhat surprised they haven't already come down to 640, 650. They're trying again now. Here they come. Here's the low towards 640, 650. Finally. Let's see. Still holding. Sorry, folks. I'm just like having a look around of where the weakness is coming from here. VIX back up towards these 1950s. Mag's still around the low day. Semi's still not broken down to 100 yet. They are holding on down here a few times. As you go, that expected move's holding again. Back to this put wall again. Now, did they reclaim? This is the decision here for semis. 106.50s. This is just a back test for them to try and sell again, which they did. So they're still looking for lower at the moment. If they start rebidding over 106.50s, relief can start. It's very iffy thinking about higher prices here at the moment, but we are starting to see compression. It's a failure to move lower here, right? That is a failure to move lower. And if we see this, I will have no option but to take that trade because we're holding value on the day. Let's see if they hold this pullback into 700. Mag going. All right, looking for this long if we can hold 700 here. It's very, very hard trade. It's not a trade I love, but I think there is potential relief here. There's the move to sevens. Watching semi. Semi still rejecting 106.50, so I want to be careful. There's the move to sevens. Still not in. Still watching because I don't trust this with the semis doing what they're doing. All right, feeler on long there. I need semis to hold above 50 here, 106.50. Mag coming up to PDL, and that's also going to be a decision. At the moment, it's rejecting PDL. I'll be very careful here. It can go both ways very quick. Small size, not going to give it much room. Playing with house money as well. They don't hold the sevens here. We're going to snap. So they've got to hold this level right here, right now. Here they come. Good. Good. Good semis. Good. Good, everyone. Well done, everyone. Doing your job. Right. Go, 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 go. There's the 50s again like earlier. I want all pullbacks to hold here. I'm going to see if we can get up to 70s and 80s and then see if we can get all the way up here. Mag into PDL. I've trimmed a little bit here just in case. It's counter trend. It's a relief rally. This is a very, very hard trade. We're coming to the top side of this now into 50. Now, if we get over this, all right, so we've held this. There's your compression. There's your hold. If they hold this, we'll get this leg. I'm not expecting that leg. I'm just saying the runner, if we hold this, we'll get this leg. Otherwise, we'll be break even on the runner down here again. There we go. Now starting to see some selling exhaustion at the lows, this runner. Can it go? Really sorry. I can see people are asking questions. I'm focused on the trades today. All right. I've missed a lot of trades recently by answering questions. If you're here long enough, I've probably answered it a million times, but I will get back to you, I promise. But let me just focus on the trades right now. It's a fast moving market. If I take my eye off it, I can get slipped or anything else. So I just don't really want that today. I want to be very, very focused. All right. Big rejection of PDL on the mag. That is a very bad look. That is a very bad look on the mag. Unless semis are going to break out here and lift this market, that's an awful look. What just happened? Semis coming into the top of their range. I might get stuffed here. And we might go break even on this trade. I'm going to try and move my stop break even plus 1 or 2 here. I'm at 706s. Out. There we go. All right, mag just got stuffed. Look at the alignment. Everything just got stuffed here. So the mag just got stuffed into PDL. Stuffed. IGV lifting. Semi's trying to hold. I still think there's more in this, but they're going to make it very, very hard as they start to rotate now. So semis are trying to get a lift. Mag's being sold off. VIX being sold off back down to 19s. And they're going to build this out and make this pretty much impossible to trade in this node now by the looks of it. I still think there's relief possible here, but I don't know how to trade it at the moment. If they're going to keep rotating and rotating and rotating. Here come the semis up to the 108s. 110s is their target for a back test on semiconductors. Here they go. You might get the relief. You might get Alex trade now. You are going to get the Alex trade now. Semi's getting the relief. Mag now finding a bid. Here comes the relief. God damn it. God damn it. Well, he was right again. Should have been 3 for 3. I am 3 for 3, but I should be in this for the huge relief, right? VWAP up here is your first target. Now, if you get more than this, again, you're looking for the red box. So you can trim some into VWAP. Looking for the 110 retest on semiconductors here. Are you going to let me in if you pull back? Are you? Are you just going to come to top of this range and fail? Are you going to come down here and hold a bid for me? No, I'm good. Thanks, love. All right, semis 110 check. There we go. They've just completed it. So pulling back off that 110. And now semis need to hold 108s. And I'll see if we can hold this pullback into 50s down to 30s. If we do and semis hold 108s, I will potentially nibble at it. Otherwise, it's just a range rotation again. Here's the 50s. Do we come a bit deeper here? I'm nibbling at this. Got to get going here, mate. You got to get going here. There we go. Good. Right, let's get through the 80s and squeeze now. It's a good hold of 50s like we talked about. Right, through the 80s. Let's see if we can get this imbalance above. I've trimmed some here. I'm looking for 825 up to 860 now. Stop again, moved break even. +1 because it's a counter trend trade. It's a really hard trade to these folks when we're trying to look for counter trend. But the story of the tape so far is risk off this morning. Right, huge sell this morning. Unable to get involved here, which is what I would have liked. Just a little bit more of a build out. for that, right? And then since then, we've had a failure to break lower, all right? Here's our expected move. Here's the put wall. Once, twice, wick, failure to break lower. This is a micro W in here. So if this is a W, right, this is a fractal, right? There's the hold. That's where we're playing relief. We're trimming some up to there, flat on the rest of it now. And if they build this out for a break lower, great. That's fine. I really want to get short up here. This is where I'd really like. Somewhere a little bit further. It's just struggling to get up there. But we're what, 3 for 3 today? It's not bad. Ravi, you're welcome, man. Semis did not hit the 110. It's an area, mate. I mean, are we going to be really that fussy? It's an area, okay? They hit 109.55. It's an area, okay? It's just an area, buddy. They don't have to be on the money, like to the cent. It's an area for a back test, all right? It was flow zones. It was a put wall 6, and it's the VWAP. It's there or thereabouts, mate. If you're going to be specific on levels, you're never, ever, ever going to get the trade. That's why we do zones. You see how this is a zone? Right, it's a zone, it's a zone, it's a zone. It's not a single line, all right? Markets won't care about a single line. You shorted off VWAP, then I'd be covering some down here, all right? And then you can do the same thing as we were doing for the upside. You can hold a runner. Now, if you get the breakdown, we're running out of room at the moment. Let's see if they've put some new options levels in yet. Give me a second. No. Oh, yeah, there we go. No, that's the same, isn't it? It's the same. So no new options levels. Max move today is 27,400, but we're into max move based on pre-market and previous day. So it's only based on new data today. We're basically into like, it's very unlikely, well, it's not very, there's only 20% chance we'll move significantly lower than this green box right now. Did I become a range trader? No, it's the range would have been, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's more just the relief. I'm playing the relief. So I'm not really just bidding on the edges. I'm more waiting to see, okay, there's a fail break, there's a hold. Okay, we play the relief. If we can come up here, it'd be really nice, and then I can sell that back down. All right, Mag finding a bid again. Semi's trying to find a bid. They're just hanging out at the moment. But Mag is trying to come up to previous day low. So on the Mag, you want to watch VWAP, previous day low, previous day close. Basically 63s. That's what you're watching. You see how we're failing to break lower at the moment. Doesn't mean it doesn't come. It just means at the moment we're failing to break lower. We've hit the expected moves. They're going to have to build out liquidity, and really they're probably going to have to get some form of alignment between the Mag and semis. Here comes the bid again off those lows. So we are, you are right, we are now in a range, aren't we? Until we see acceptance outside of it. We're starting to hold a little pivot here around the 700s. They're trying a few times. I'm not convinced we don't break lower yet, but 85. They're not walking the bid up though. But they are trying to hold 85 to 700, but they are not walking this bid up. Whereas they are walking the ask down at the moment. We'll see. They're going to have to turn this algo around. Here comes semis for the relief. This might be the same trade as earlier if they can hold. It just feels so iffy to play in this high volume node here. Point of control for the day. Doesn't fill me with any form of confidence right now, this market. Heavy sell day. I'd much rather be a seller in this day. I'd much rather it comes up here so I can sell it. Just don't want to sell at these expected move lows. Feels very, very risky. And don't want to buy in this high volume node. So now we have to sit. I mean, MAG is just, I don't understand what you're doing with it, guys. Can you make a mind up? You've got room to go down if you want to. Like, what's with these retests? We're barcoding on the MAG now. Tests are actually the weakest one today, 2.33% down. Microsoft strength, good to know. Relative strength, always good to know. I'll give you a readout. So Tesla 2.340% down, Nvidia 1.24% down, Microsoft 1.24% up, Meta a third of a percent down, Google 0.04% up, Amazon 0.70% down, Apple 0.17% down. All right. It's the stocks doing the weight. It's almost 6% down today in semiconductor land. That's what's causing the drama today again. So if you think about the mags, they're only 0.29% down on the day. NQ is almost 2% down on the day. It's being dragged by the semiconductors. Green zone's value area low. It is, but that's not what the green zone is. The green zone is just the expected move from the options chart. Right, here's the break. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. They still haven't broke the mag lower. I don't understand why they're bidding and holding on to this at the moment. It doesn't really make much sense to me on the mag. Right, semi's coming down for that 100. So they're at 103.40s at the moment. I think they want the 100. That's a new low on the semiconductors. We're not that far away from 27,100. Remember, let's put it in here. What's this? 27. Let's call it 27.2 to 26.8. 27. This is our start to buy zone. 26 at 9, maybe 8. 9, yeah. That's on the daily. That's the 2025 high. Not that far away now. All right, almost at the 100. Can they expand semiconductors down to 100? And then do we find a bid down there? Bookmap warning me it can't keep up with the orders again. That's how quick we're moving today. It's worried it can't keep up with the orders. It's flashing me warnings. It's 27,600 on deck now. I'm not shorting any of this. I'm just waiting. There's nothing I can do yet. Bleed and bleed and bleed. Same on deep dom. Yeah, I mean, it just shows you when we're being told, hey, we can't get through, we can't show you enough of the orders like this. It shows you the panic of them getting out right now. They are just not interested in owning it. Mag's still holding on. I'll take you over here. All right. Mag in a range. IGV holding on. This thing getting absolutely nuked. That's the story of the tape. And there's no relief. There's no reclaim. All right, 102s, 80s now, 102s, 70s, 102s, 60s now being traded. SOXL, remember 100 is its big put wall. That's the big wall. That's where I think it wants to trade into today. Talked about it from pre-market. I can't see how I can sell this at this point. We're so close to it. Maybe up here if we come up, but so low on the expected move. Feels like asking for trouble. Every pop continuing to be sold here, every little pop. Here they come on semiconductors. They are gunning for that 100. That's all they want to do. They want to get to 100. One 102.50s traded there. And a rebid again. Semis back up to previous day low again. Semis want to curl and go. They just can't. They cannot get the strength to get through previous day low. So we just keep getting stuck. Not semis, mag, sorry. So we'll take you over. Mags keep getting stuck here, previous day low. Semis are gunning for that 100. Right, look where we opened. Right, they're gunning for the 100. That's where they want to gun. That's the put wall. I'm waiting to see if we can come in there and make a decision. We're still in a rotation. Think about it. If they're bidding mag and they're selling semis, we remain in a rotational market. Do I see trap buyers? Not really. It's just been very aggressive selling most of the day. There's not that much trap buying. Just very, very aggressive selling. I don't see many buyers on the tape today at all. Semis might test 104, and then if they sell that, then they can get the move to 100, I would assume. Mag back to previous day low again. 63 is your over-under on the mags. Lower side of the expected move. We don't really want to short here. It's a very, very big problem to short here. You're going against probabilities. You only have a 20% chance of an expansion under this. All right, new lows here on the semis. Still waiting to see if those come into 100. Another rejection on the mag here at previous day low, turning back inside the range again. Like I say, I'm expecting this to trade lower, but I don't know for how long, because I would imagine the reaction at 100 for the mags, for the semiconductors, is pretty large, and we might see some front running into it as well. Patient, 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 patient. Back to value area low again. Relief again. All right, semi's going to come for the 104 check again. There's the front running. So 104 now key on semiconductors down here. Get that relief off the lower side of the expected move. They didn't get the 100 check, but they are now checking 104s. This is key for semis. Do they sell this or not? If not, it's going to be a failed move to 100. The size of this, speed of this tape up. Absolutely wild. There's 104s poked inside. Mag just sold previous day low, right back down again to its midpoint. 104 rejection there on semis like we talked about. Now they've got the chance to break for 100 now if they want. Crazy, isn't it? Look at the size of these moves. Look at the size of these moves. How the fuck are you supposed to trade that? Seriously. 82 up, 82 down. Like that. It's impossible. Can't trade that. Cannot trade that. Absolutely impossible. All right, rejection of 104 like we talked about. Previous day low rejected again like we talked about. And it has the chance now to move to 100 on the semiconductors because it just back tested 104 and rejected it. Should break lower here on the semiconductors. I don't know if the NQ breaks lower because MAG's holding on. So the rotation, they're not in alignment, right? So they're not in alignment. So I don't know if we break lower because MAG is holding on here. And 82 points back up. Oh, you're braver than me if you're doing this. You're braver than me. There's the edge of the expected move. Mag's back to previous day low. At some point, they're going to break it and break out. Here they go. Semi still can't get through 104, so we've got divergence here. Semi's testing 104. I mean, like, I'd love to be long in this, but what your trigger is beyond me. Are you not entertained yet, exactly? All right, Semi's turning back up through the 104, up to the 105s now. Mag's into 63 level. VIX getting crushed here. So we might start seeing some relief here. We're in a high volume node now. This is 3 attempts to break lower. We'll watch this here, I guess. 670s to 40s. If they can bid and hold that and trap sellers, maybe we consider that same relief trade. It feels very, very risky, but maybe we consider it on this move back in. You got to come deeper. You could have gotten deeper to attract me in. Mag back under previous day lows, rejection of 63s. The fucking rotation is insane. So fast. All right, I'm going to bid this now. Small size. See if we can get back above point of control here. It's very risky. Come on. Nice. Push, 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 push. All right, I'm trimming something there straight away to pay myself. So I bid 60s there. Actually got a bad fill there. Filled at 69s. Mag's trying to get through. Semis is a very tough area. Here we go. Nice. All right, we've got to get through this now. So selling something to 7s. Point of control. If we get through this, we can look for the rotation. They're going another 70 points higher because we're starting to get pretty packed down here. But basically what we're saying is buyers need to protect this. Compression needs to happen here. Need to hold this for this pop and relief. It's a fucking tough trade, folks. It's a very tough trade, but that's what I'm looking for at the moment. And that will only work if semis get back through these 105s and give us relief. And if mags get through previous day low. Here we go. Point of control, massive here. Can we get over it and take control? It's getting tight. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Don't poke and fail. Let's complete this move. Let's go all the way up for me. And get small size to go 100 plus points here. Still holding. don't like what I'm seeing over here. Semis can't get through the 105s. Mags is still not getting relief. $105 fail again there. Getting ready to cut this. Which means it probably goes. Semis rejection previous day low and 63s again. Sorry, Mags rejecting previous day low 63s again. Semis can't get through the 105, so they can still break lower. Come on, please give it to me. Just give me the relief. This point of control is so sticky here. Here we go. We need to hold over 700. You keep poking above it and failing, which is a really bad look. A really bad look. No, out. Don't mind getting back in. Oh, you fucker. You gonna wick me and go? Oh, I'm flat now. If this goes without me, I'm gonna have to find another way of joining him. Hopefully we pull back to 650. It wants to get relief. It's just semis can't get through 105s and mags can't get through 63s. Oh, you mother clucker. Watch this come up here, maybe up here now, and I will laugh. Only hope I've got is it comes back down here and washes you lot out and lets me get back in. It's can't do anything. Here it goes. Fuck's sake. Fuck a duck. Fuckity fuck. Fuckity fuck. Never fails, does it? The Alex trade. It fucking never fuckity fuck fails. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a 2-year-old to say fuck. I'll say something else instead. Duckity duck. That's what I was saying. Duckity duck. All right, Mag failing 63s again. I mean, I've lost count of how many times they've attempted up there. Semis can't get through the 105. Still, I'm now flat. I think there is relief possible here, folks. All the way up here is possible. Definitely up to here. I'd be watching VWAP and 72s and then all the way up here. It's possible. This thing's just nuts the way it's moving, though. Let's get in, Alex. I'm good. I'm not getting in the middle of the range. No, thanks. We were nibbling down here. I'm not getting in here. No, thank you. Can go without me. I'd rather be disciplined than do that. Why am I stopped so tight? Well, I'm playing off the liquidity on the map, so they're at key levels, and when we start to lose key levels or I see shifts, I de-risk. It's just how I play. Here it goes. Right, so you're into current weak value area low. If you find acceptance through this blue line, that's your first TP. This is TP1. This is TP2. This is TP3. I will not be able to do anything unless we come down here and trap more sellers. And the auction at the low, it doesn't look too bad. 23s. 23s is quite a heavy selling delta. 623s I'm talking about. Doesn't look too bad. Please, as a reminder, smash that like button. Please smash that like button. Here doing this stuff for you for free, trying to teach you for free. Sitting on hands, bored out my brain. If we can flush here and trap sellers, consider it. Remember, any long today is counter trend. I'm going to remind you of that. Oh, you got to come deeper, you mother clucker. You have to come deeper here. You don't have to do anything but for me to play. Look at this push. I didn't even get to the LVN. Didn't even let me back in. Did not even let me back in. Fuck me, mate. Oh, it's annoying when you can read it perfectly and it won't let you get back in. Oh, God. It looks so good now. That hold was good. Oh, I just wanted an LVN, Phil. All you had to do is come and do this for me. Looks good, folks. All right, TP1 here, TP2 here, TP3 here. All right. Oh, my God. What did I say? 60s. What did it hit? 70s. Oh, 10 points away. Here you go. Here's the shove. Beautiful. Semis relief. Through the 105s, relief. There you go. Through the 105s was the trigger. Right, you want to be moving your stop well up into the money. You're still in a range right now, but we are potentially in a bottoming formation, all right, short term, all right. This here is a failed break lower, all right. That is a failed break lower. That's why I was trying to bid this LVN. I got filled here, couldn't get filled second time round. Your relief is to here, and then through that, all the way up here is possible. Okay, so you're paying yourself a good chunk here, and you're holding runners to see how high this can go now. Congratulations, those that got it. You would be 4 for 4 now. I'm salty. W's in chat if you got it. It's a nice move. I mean, it's just giving you 100 points in 90 seconds or something. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. Even though we missed the shorts today, we've actually been long all day because it's the only thing I've had the chance to trade. But we're 4 for 4. Yes, it's never a line, it's a zone. Correct, but it's different with an LVN, right? The LVN zone is here, right? The actual LVN zone is here, right? So the LVN zone is not up here. with what you're talking about. It's different when we talk about anything else, but this, right, is clearly thick, right? This is clearly thin. So I'm looking for a balance out of this thin liquidity. It's also left untouched a load of imbalances, all right? So I was looking to fill, look, 60s, maybe even down to 40s. I wanted to fill the imbalances and then go. Just didn't want to do it. That's all right. Didn't want to do it. But there was good reason for it to come down there. That's why I was looking bullish down there. Whereas supply and demand are definitely zones. Like the expected move today was this zone, here to here, right? Look, we held the expected move. Wow, that's amazing. We held Alex's expected move. We then held above the LVN. That's naughty. You're a dirty, dirty dog, NQ, for doing that. But there we go. It gave me that tap in. That's the one I got, and then stopped out, and it wouldn't come again. There we go. Is that imbalance green? Yeah, it's a buy side imbalance, correct. It's where we aggressively printed so fast here. All right, it's this move here. Boot, boot, boot. All right, we left unfilled orders as an imbalance. So while you're trimming some up here, let's remember this is TP2, TP3 for runners. I'm going to be patient now. Missed that trade. Yeah, Mag's still rejecting 63s. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We can have a look at that. This is your over-under for the day. You can set a price alert there if you want. All right. There's the 63s. You can see how important this level is. All right. Huge level. Put wall. Both VWAPs. Previous day close. Can't get through it at the moment. They're saying no. Can't break lower either. Maybe bear flag come down here. Maybe they bid back up. Maybe we see continuation lower. There's lots of room for mags to continue lower, like I talked about. It's kind of odd that they haven't wanted to drift into any of these, but it's because they're buying mags and selling this. And here comes Soxal back to the 105s again. So you can see the over-under. Think about this today. Breakdown. Fail to break lower, back into here. If we put some range on here, this is going to be very thick in here now. There we go. All right, so failing to search lower, back inside this choppy zone. If they hold this LVN, relief up to here possible. Over here, fail breakout or squeeze. They are shoving this thing up right now. Semis are trying to move. 106.20s now. They're trying to get back to VWAP. 108s to 110s is your target on semis. This looks good. It's good for relief. Here we go. So TP2 has now been hit. Value area high for the day, and now you're looking for the red box above, right? So you should have paid yourself. So anyone who got long the moves today, we can mark them out. Anyone who got long, where's my long? In and around here. All right, you're into TP2. TP3 will be up here. All right, if you're able to get that. Move this in there so you can see. All right, 63 tests again on the mags, folks. You still look good to hold this long. You still look good to hold it. There's no reason to get rid of it all. You still look good to hold. Right, if they can get above here, you have a squeeze potential. I'm not saying it will do that. You should have been out most of your profits here, and you're holding now to see how high. Can we go to New York Open? I mean, it's not impossible, but we must respect this. All right, we must respect that. Now, what I would say on the current week, we have a very thin pocket, basically from 790 to 840. All right, so we are very thin in this drop. So either we are going to reject 800 hard, or you're going to see it travel through it pretty quick. It's going to be one or the other. If I take you over to Y, current weeks. All right, here's the pivots. That's your final TP. See this, how we built out this huge amount of volume today, and we can travel through here pretty quick, right? Which will take us up to the red block. So I think there's a chance to get up here. I really do, which is why I wanted to get long down there today. Didn't execute quite right. You're up good now though. So you're up, definitely up 100 plus points now. And just hold on and see how high you can get. Am I trading ICT? What part of this looks like ICT? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Let's make it ICT. Can I put this on here? Oh, I can't copy and paste now either. Are you serious? I can't even copy and paste now onto the screen. Let me see if I can save this and reboot. I don't think that's even saving it. I think trading views buggered up. Static bundle design tool error. Alex, focus on the charts. Mate, there's nothing for me to do. Focus on the charts. What do you want me to do? I'm not interested in anything right now. I've missed the long. I'm not just going to short the top of value. It's not how I trade. I'm waiting. Like, there's sellers at these highs. There's no buyers trapped up there. They're aggressively selling. Trust me, I can see the charts in front of me. I wanted to draw a unicorn. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to copy and paste a unicorn onto the screen. All right, semis back to 105s. Now, what I will say now, if semis hold a bid at 104s or above, that's pretty strong. Mags back inside PDC here. There it goes. Another good hold. So relief, you're looking for all the way up here, folks. That's what you're looking for. Mags is really getting going now. It's coming for its back test as well. So just hold on to these runners, see how far you can get. Okay, my whole computer is struggling to do anything. I hopefully won't need a reset here, folks. I'm going to shut down Ninja and open it again. Whatever that trading view bug is a problem. All right, searching for 800. You got 100 lot up here it's searching for. And through there, you're looking for 850. So remember, 800 is the edge. We just went over it on the current week profile. It's where we start to get thin. So you break through sort of 90s and 800s, then we can be thinking about that red box above. It looks good. Oh, GLaDOS, guess what? I can look at a naked chart, but ICT can't see order flow with a naked chart. You're full of shit. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. It's quite literally impossible. So either you can be here and learn, or you can get out. If you think that's possible, if you think he got kidnapped and that they told him how to trade and that this and this and this, and you think a fair value gap is real when there isn't actually a gap in some of them, but there is in other ones, and they're just estimating what a gap is, and you think God told him how to trade and gave him all this stuff, get the fuck out, because I haven't got time trying to teach someone who's completely fucking delusional. And that's what you would be. You would be delusional if you thought that. Moronic, stupid, idiotic, any of these words, that's what you would be if you actually believe in what you just said. All right, into the red box. So you're taking some TPs here. I'm not even going to read your response because it's just going to be the most stupid, idiotic thing possible. I already know it. If you actually think like that, you've got no hope. Ain't got a hope in hell, sorry. All right, TP's here. Congratulations. Now, anything above this is a bonus. We've very, very been thin up to this point. If you're lucky, if you're very, very, very lucky, you're going to get a further push into 866s and then 934s. Congratulations, everyone. Hopefully lots of you got that. That was the target. We just talked about that target. All right, so you were long, and there's the relief, and there's the target. And that's 170 plus points, depending where you entered. If you got the original one with me down here in 60s, it would have given you a bit more. All right, and if you joined a bit late, which I wasn't willing to do, it got you 150, 160 points. So it's a very nice trade. Nice work, folks. Really nice work. Right, and above this, all depends on the squeeze. Now, SOXL is coming back up to its 110 level. Now, I'd say 110 to 111 is a pivot. It's going to have to make a decision there. Mags is seriously, seriously pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing right now. It's coming back up to New York Open. So we are following. Look at the difference. Look at semis, found a bid. IGV bidding, Mags drifting back upside. All right. So semis trying to get some relief up into this level. These two are strong. Do I need to move this up for you? Really like there or something. All right, so expected move, options level, that made up ICT level. Fucking hell, it's absolutely insane to me. What's this chart? There's a free video on how to make that. If you go to my YouTube and look at how to make that chart, it will show you how to make it. It's semiconductors, software, and Mag 7. Done for the day. Love you, Alex. Yeah, most of you should be done. That was a killer trade. And you can keep holding on. If it keeps finding acceptance and pushing, then it's going to keep driving and driving and driving and driving. All right, and this is overnight value area low now. If we get back inside that, we're going to test previous day low, New York Open, previous day value area low. If we come back inside previous day value area low, we're going to range rotate previous day's value. I mean, it's asking a lot, but we have been overextended. We are expecting some kind of bid. That's what we've started to see. All depends where they're willing to bid now. Are they going to hold this red box? Or are they going to come right down to here again? All right, so are they going to hold this? Are they going to hold this? Or is this going to be a failure all the way back in? All of those are possible. Still holding. Still holding for you to get more. Trying to see if there's a way I can get in here. I don't think so. So this now holding. This is the now target for the next TP if you get it. I need this to come back down to earth if I'm going to get anything here. Trump about to talk, is that right? Have a look. I'm not, if you even put anything ICT in, I'm not giving an answer. It's just like, at this point, it's pointless. I'm not going to badmouth him, but if you want to fucking trade fair value gaps without actually knowing what's inside them, that's on you. They're great for learning for beginners, but half the time there's not an imbalance there. Half the time the imbalance in there is somewhere else. Because you don't understand the premise of an imbalance. It has absolutely fucking nothing to do with a made-up algo. I'm really sorry to break your hearts here. Nothing. Zero. Absolutely zero. All right, back to neutral line on ES, gamma-wise, all the way back up to that 55. Wait and see if we can pull back a bit here. Right, here's the 110 to 111 rejection on semis. And same with the mag. Traded up towards the 63. So we'll see if the 63.20. So we'll see if mag holds 63s, pivot, and we'll see if semis come down and hold 107.50s, maybe 108s. We'll see if this can come back down to earth a little bit after a big squeeze out and see if they're willing to bid it. Got a new hourly candle coming in 5 minutes as well. So that's a good reprice on the last hour. If they want to just completely sell this back down now, they can. Think about what we've just done on the hourly. All right, we hit expected move. We've gone back to test this level. If they want to come back in, they will. They can bid this out from here, or they can wash all the way down. Mind sort of 815, 780 check here. And I'm going to watch to see if semis hold sort of 107.40 to 106.50, and I'm going to watch to see if mag holds in front of PDC. That's what I'm looking for. If we just hold this red blocks and print, then it'll be a bit harder for me to get involved. Because it's been a squeeze up. We need to build out liquidity before we think about any further upside, and we have just back tested the H1. We can absolutely just go back into a range down here. It's very possible that they can do that. Flipping short soon. I don't think there's enough buy side trapped yet, and we haven't pulled back and haven't trapped enough liquidity yet. So like, look, there's a short for a pullback into here, but that's not what I'm looking for at the moment. I'm going to wait and see. Like 790s, where we've built out a high volume node, might want to still hold. So it really depends what their intentions are to do with it. I'm just going to be patient and see if and what we set up as we pull back in here. I haven't quite got to 790s yet. Hasn't even got to 800s yet. When are we trading? 20s still. Zoom this in a bit. The last big bar came in at the 800 break. I want to see these sellers who got caught at 70s and 80s tested and then make a decision on what I think might happen. Hardest thing is the size of the range, so big, eh? And come right back in here. I want to see how we act in here, basically, at the moment. I'm not saying that is demand, but I'm just interested to see if they want to trap sellers in here and what they do with it. If they flush through, then we're going to go right back into range, and there's probably nothing I want to do with it for the rest of the day. But we've got a new hourly candle coming soon. So I'm just paying attention to that area. All right, semi's coming back into that level. They need to hold this level here. And then mag coming back in as well. And they need to hold 63s basically, right? Mag's basically got to hold 63s. Or are we going to go all the way down to VWAP? What's VIX doing? Trying to bid back up. VIX might need a retest of 1860s here, which we're coming into now. I'm watching here down to sort of 780s. Buyers getting aggressive here. Don't know if they'll be rewarded here. Might need a second leg lower, which is what I'm slightly concerned about. Blue box holding for now. I wanted a little bit deeper into it, and I wanted to see sellers get caught, which I'm not really seeing. I'm just seeing buyers starting to get pretty aggressive. And we can definitely do a second leg lower, so I've got to be careful. Mate, they turned that so quick. They just buyers just hammered in there. So we held it. There's a way of getting long now. I want to see these buyers who just stepped in then at 20s hold. I'm starting to feather in if we can pull back and hold here. And be careful because we can get stuck between red and blue box now, which is kind of nasty. Are you going to trap some sellers here or what? Nothing yet. Balances being filled. There's the end of auction. We can still flush lower here, to be honest. All right, putting some small size on here just as a feeler. I don't love it. I want something on. Can still break lower. Big buyers coming in here again. What are you playing at? Why are you doing that? I don't love this. I'm going to be honest. I don't love what the buyers are doing here. I think it's problematic for a break lower. I don't get why they are doing this right now. They're very, very silly being this aggressive up here. I'd rather see the big sellers come in and some absorption. See, this is it. All right, I'm out. It's fucking stupid. I don't know why they just did that. 1, 2, 3, 400 lot just came flying in, buying on the tape. Like, what are you doing, you silly people? Right, let's see if we can get the move to 80s and then absorb down there. They definitely want it higher. It's just how they're building it out. It's very silly. Very, very silly at the moment. I'm going to be trapped between blue and red now. Fantastic. Right, Q's into VWAP here. QQQ I'm talking about. Still watching MAG as long as it holds 63s. Under 63s, I no longer become interested in the long in this move. I would love to see it come and test 80s. That's where a lot of sellers got caught on the way up. So 80s to 71. Oh, fuck off, Trader Max. It's the same person every day. Can you be more clear with your entries? How about this? There's the blue level. How about you manage your risk? What are you talking about? I've even said about 100 times, I want a test of 80s here to see if they get seller's trap. Like, I don't understand how I have to put up with this every day. It's the same people every day as well. Stop signal botting, mate, and learn to trade. Stop signal botting. Listen to what I'm talking about. Learn to enter and manage your own risk. My God. Insane. All right, here's the 80s test. Now, if we lose this, we're just going to come VWAP, and then we can just drive all the way down under VWAP. So starting to become less interested in the longs if they can't hold 80s in VWAP here. And semis is right, mag's right at that 63s. And maybe we'll just return right the way back down to here, which would be a bad look. I'm open to this kind of move here and this kind of move here. What I'm not open to is that failure. I'm not going to play that down there. I'm not going to touch anything in here. If we're going to go range rotation all the way down, there's not a lot I can do with it. There really is not a lot I can do with it if they're just going to drop the whole thing all the way back down. Because the pro sell will be intact, and that's the lower high set. This is the second leg. So I need to wait to see if they finish this second leg at the moment and do that. And that's all I can wait for at the moment. There's nothing else I can do. Sellers down here definitely are a problem for themselves at 80s like we talked about. And let's see if we can reclaim now. Here we go. So this is what I'm watching now. If we hold blue, starting in here, and then we see how far we can squeeze up now. I literally just drew this out for you. So every pullback that holds now is good. See how we came to 70s and 80s? All right. That's why we had to check the sellers. I must have said it 10 times for you, Max. Nice. All right. We'll see if we can get acceptance above this as well. So we want this to hold, and we want acceptance above that as well. This is the problem. This is supply on the H1, remember. So very tight there. Great hold of 63s on the mag again, like I told you, ahead of time. Let's see if they can hold this now. If they can't, then they're going to go for VWAP. It's that simple. If they can't hold this blue box, they go for VWAP. So you have to manage your risk here. What is clear now is the H1. We are rejecting this pivot, which is why we sold into it. They have the chance to hold. See this node? They have the chance to hold this node for the drive. If they can't hold this node, we go into a rotational market. That's what I want to avoid. I do not want to play the rotation today. I'm not interested. Yeah, SRXL needs to hold. It's starting to struggle a little bit here. It's under its VWAP, like, and they can still come for 100. And that's the worry, right? So we had compression. Make sure I'm on the right chart for you. We had compression, fail, break lower, hold, relief. They need to hold this, all right? Because we have structure there. If they can't hold this, they're going to come down to here. So that's a new trade down there. So we're seeing if this blue box can hold for relief right now. That's what we're looking for. If they can't hold the blue box and semis continue to show weakness, it's going to be problematic for the market, as we've talked about for many, many months now. Still holding these 80s at the moment. Mag still holding 63s. So we're now trapped basically between sellers. Oh God, don't do that. What is that? Sellers under here are caught for the day. Buyers above here on H1 are caught. All right, and this is the build out now. I'd love to see a little bit more relief. We might not get it. If we come up here and fail again, I'll consider even getting short, all right, because of value and rejection of H1. At the moment, I'm going to hold the long all the time we're holding this blue box. All right, let's see here. And I'll add, if we get acceptance over the red box, I will start to add for the drive higher. Because we will flip that red box. You don't know how I'm not more famous? Well, it's because I'm not one of these. It's simple, really, because people don't like hard truths. They don't like to be told how the market is, and they don't like to learn. What they like is signals. Here we go. All right, trim some more here. Let's fucking go. And let's see if we can get all the way up here now, folks. Lovely. All right, into the lower time frame algo here, this pink line on the screen, it's an important level. If we get acceptance over this red box, remember we've trimmed some, we're looking up here if we get acceptance. If we don't, so be it. All right, that was another 100 points, by the way. All right, that's value area though from Globex, the white line on the screen. I'm going to put my stop in the money here, and I'm just going to use the bathroom, and I will be back, folks. I might get a refill on this tea. Smash that like button. I want to do an Apex giveaway when I'm back. 1,200 likes. That's where we need to get to. All right, still looks good, folks. Unfinished auction at the high. We're going to make a new high here. We will make a new high here. Really, really nice. I think we trim this, we clip this, and maybe push up here now. We just have to watch ES into 55. That's a gamma level. MAG at New York Open. If we get through that, we go red to green in the New York session on MAG, remember? Big relief there. Some of you are weird, man. You say weird shit, honestly. What caused that fast push? It was probably a mixture of shorts caught and probably, I don't know if Trump said something came out. But we had seller exhaustion down here. All right, so sellers kept trying in these and failing. This is why we wanted the retest of here, like I talked about. All right, I wanted to retest these sellers. Right, when I said 70s and 80s, these sellers in the way up are the guys that got stuck. So once we broke, we squeezed above them. The selling at the highs, not great auction at the high, followed by buying at the high. So I think we get new highs. We pull back, we tested these sellers. Sellers remain stuck. Okay, we drift higher. Right, that's why I wanted to be bullish on the pullback, because momentum, think about like what we've talked about. Here's the momentum. Big downside momentum. We know that's an H1 level. All right, there's the squeeze out. There's the first pullback. Above what? RBS. Really simple, isn't it? Resistance, resistance becomes support. In here, confirmed by lots of selling who are stuck. Okay, we're above VWAP. We're looking for a relief. Great. Okay, how far can runners go? We don't know. Maybe we just come to here. But I would imagine we squeeze some of this out soon. Just even if it's just a poke up here and then fail. And I'm really sorry, but you can't see that shit if you're not reading. You did not know what was in here and here and here and here without reading order flow. I don't care what you say. It's a fact. It's literally a fact. I don't care what you say. You won't know the levels. You won't know the number. You won't know the size. You won't know anything. You have an estimate, but you wouldn't be able to give exact levels. Am I seeing what I wanted to see with Netflix? Yes, I am. Definitely. Alex, on NT, do you subscribe to an external data feed? No, I don't. I just use the standard one that comes with prop firms and doesn't cost you anything. Thanks, Orchard. Can you buy now? You can. I wouldn't, but you can. You're a bit late, but we are now holding above this, aren't we? We're now finding acceptance here. This is a very tricky area. I will remind you on that H1. Zoom out on the H1. Right, we had a low volume node here. We've been here so long, we've started to make it high volume. All right, so this is now starting to become a high volume node because we've been here so long. If we can get through this, there is a move up to 940s. Right, because we are actually very, very thin in here. So either we're going to see a poke and a rejection and a rotation down here, or we're going to see a continuation and a swipe up to here, which is what we are hoping for because we're long here and here, right? And here. You're either long, long, long. You haven't heard me talk about shorts. In fact, I haven't talked about shorts much today because we haven't had the possibility. Right, here's the new high. We should break this high, 81s here, and repair this auction. It should come in now. We did just tap it, in fairness. On the bubbles, I have mine set to, it depends. I was having them set to 50s, but in this market it's too much. So at the moment I've got them set to 60s, I think, or 65s. It's I could have them set bigger, but sometimes, you know, you'll miss. I've been playing with them a bit, but 60s feels about right at the moment. Should make a new high here. We really should be breaking through here to make this new high through value. Poke out. There's a sell side imbalance here, which, by the way, you wouldn't see with a fair value crap, but you would see it if you're reading order flow. And this is what I mean. You don't really know what you're doing. You're guessing. You're stabbing in the dark. There's a genuine imbalance here. Here we go through it. New high day. Auction repaired. Now we're looking for all the way up here, folks. All right. If we get lucky, we're going to come all the way up here. See how high we can go. Beautiful. Here comes the squeeze. Right, move your stops up. Protect your money. How high can we go? Let's see. Brrr. Gun fingers out. All right, low volume node coming up. 916 to 940 is our target. 916 to 940 is our target. And if you'd want to just trim some here, you can. We're basically there. Previous day low here. So basically this is our TP. Now, if we get very, very, very lucky, we're going to do a rotation to come and test previous day's value. But I'm going to be trimming most of my money here. I don't care if I regret it. I'm going to lock in. I'm going to at least move my stop up aggressively. We don't need semis to do anything right now. If they get through 110, it would be a bonus. But mag is at high of day, and that's done the lift. So we've turned around. Semis have stopped bleeding. The important part is semis have stopped bleeding. There's the bleed. There's the high low. There's the mag. All right. Semis have stopped the bleed, and mag is in a lift with software. Fantastic. Where do I read the unfinished auction? On Spectra. You can buy it on my website if you want it. I don't push my stuff because it's just not how I am. But if you want to read order flow and you trade with Ninja, there's plenty of other options. You'll probably find Spectra's. It's a one-time fee. It's about as competitive as you get. But look, do your research. You don't have to use what I use. There's plenty of options. Here we go. All right, we're into TP level. Now the next imbalance is up at 38s. Let's go into previous day low. Right, trimming some here for this squeeze out. I'm not expecting much more than this. Right, if we get very lucky, we'll come up here, but I'm basically done with this now. Simples, right? Keep it stupid simples. Big seller up here. He's going to get himself caught. 200 lot seller up here at the highs at 48s. What a move. What a move. What a move. What a move. Beautiful. Thanks for playing. All buys today. I know, all buys today. Well, we missed the whole... I wanted to be a seller here. The only time I wanted to sell today, because we missed all this, was this, but we didn't build out nice liquidity. Like this, see how that's beautiful liquidity to trade off? This is too quick. I can't trade in 8 seconds, but I can trade when we start building out nice. Fantastic. Thanks very much. Sometimes the market's too quick and we miss a trade, but there's always other opportunities, right? Those who got it, congrats. You want to be down to tiny size, or you can be completely out if you want. But I tell you what, if you keep holding a bid here at 48, there's a big seller here. If you hold the bid here, it's a good sign. Because he came in with a 200 lot, and he's not very happy right now because we ain't moving down. I'd say maybe put your stop at like 38 or something, where previous day low is, right? Because what we're saying here, that green line, at the moment, what we're potentially saying is on a daily, it's a failed move outside. So we've come back inside. So this is a failure by sellers. All right. Now, if we come back inside value, it's going to be another failure by sellers. And what we can then think about is a move to here. And if we come back above that, a move to here, that's going to be a separate trade for me. I won't have any size left for that. And we can flip this now. Am I related to John Wick? Keanu or John Wick? If I was related to John Wick, I'd be an assassin for a living. Can't think of a better job. Hey. Lifetime. I can see one mistake you've made there, my friend. Instead of SOXL, use SOXX. All right, so instead of SOXL, use SOXX. You want equally weighted. SpaceX looking good. Oh, it's not bad. 115s. Where did we get to yesterday? 110s? That is looking much better. I'm not against buying this when it's finished, when everyone's... That is much better. All right, I will consider, JD, 2 trades. I'll consider a hold of here, and certainly a hold above that is a good sign of strength. If we get back above 120s, I will consider that move out. Why won't it set alerts? What the fuck is wrong with TradingView nowadays? That's a great shove, though. All right, liquidity on the book higher here. 600 lot at 980. 500 lot at 990. My stop is at 39s now. I've got fuck all size left, so it's kind of irrelevant. Semi's back at that 110 level. Daily Lucids. I don't really know, mate. I genuinely haven't really had a look at them. All I know is that they're very similar to Take Profit Trader. That when you're in the funded stage, they're trailing drawdown until you get past the buffer. Exactly the same as Take Profit Trader. I don't know if there's a max cap. I genuinely haven't had time to look at them yet. Here we go. Right, going to fill this 600 lot at 980. They're coming for him. 980 is the level here. This might signify the end of the auction very, very soon, folks. If this guy gets filled, because we're going to have a huge amount of buy side, going to probably start to get very aggressive to get through here. Did he pull? He pulled it. What a bastard. So he pulled his order. He was a spoofer. So we've got 500 lot now at 990. Maybe we're just a liquidity provider up here. Starting to get a bit frothy here, folks. We're starting to get pretty extended. You know, I'd start moving your stop up to be proactive. This is previous day value area low here. And this is going to decide whether we're going back inside of yesterday's value or not. And there's a bid starting to show here. I'm not interested in any more buys at this point. I'm done. That's me. I'm out. Moved my stop nice and tight there. I'm not interested in any more buys. I will rebuy this if we show acceptance. And we might still, there might be still more in this, but if we show acceptance back above this, I'll consider it. This is a high volume node. All right, it's very, very, very thick. And to be honest, we can probably make it bigger than it is at the moment. We can probably do one to there, and we can probably do another one. Yeah. Gap fill, if they want to get nasty, all the way up here as well. You can see if you find acceptance inside of value. I'm done with the trade. That was me done. Made my money on that. All right, VIX back under 18s now. Gex is going crazy. Well, we've flipped from negative gamma into positive territory. All right, so we've flipped gamma. That's why. All right, initial balance high taken. I would say any move under 750s, 740s, and this thing's done. I'm out of it already. Nice moves. Nice moves. Right, I'm going to get rid of overnight levels. I don't feel like we're going to need them now. We've traded enough today. And we've got the grey box here to show us. There we go. Nice work, team. Dubs in chat if you got it. If you got any of this, really, really nice work. Killer moves. Killer moves, but just understanding what was going on in front of us. Right here. I missed a piece here, didn't I? This was the call out from earlier. Those are your main trades today. And we scalped some of this in here as well. think there was a few here. Alex, I genuinely, if I will ever see you in life, make you the happiest person, you receive the biggest... What from you? I don't know what that is. Would you size in to take your stop loss to break even, leaning on the 200 lot seller to move higher? To take... Oh, you're moving too quick. To take the higher liquidity when price came down to check him. Which 200 lot seller? You mean 50s? I wouldn't be adding there. No, I wouldn't be sizing in for that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The size for me, if it's like feeler on here, the size comes here. All right. I want my size. But the problem is if you're long here and you start sizing in here, right? Your average position's now here. The chances of that happening are much bigger. You don't want to add late. You just don't want to add late. You want to let pullbacks finish. Right? This might come right back in here and go again. It might be come back in here, fail here, rotate the range. Right? So we want core positions, starters, holds, adds. Maybe you add on a break. We certainly don't add near TPs. And for me, this is definitely near a TP. Now, let's think about where upside is today. $28,264. Okay, this was the estimated move. Sorry, I forget I put it in before. And expected move pre-market 28,245, 245. Okay, so options traders are saying that it's possible that we come up here. It doesn't mean it happens. It's just a possibility. And today's range, current range saying 129, so we're almost there. Yeah, there's not that much left. We've got the main meat on the bone. Remember, our job's to get the meat off the bone. I feel like we got it. What do gamma flips do? Well, they force them to buy the underlying asset as well. All right, so when we're negative, we have increased volatility, more chance of selling pops, but increased volatility. All right, when we're positive, it's more of a slow dip buying kind of mode. And we don't actually truly get positive in NQ, right, until we get back above this. Right up here is where we get into like dip buying kind of stage, right? More in here. But what definitely happened is we started to flip in the spiders, right? So once spiders broke 739 and 740s, that was the main flip. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. All right, you're still holding here. Is this New York Open? Yeah, it is. I'm going to pull this in a bit. Oh. I think I'm done. It's 30 minutes left. I think I'm done. VIX finding a bid at 18s on its put wall. This needs to come back down to earth a little bit, I think. Doesn't have to, but it would just be better for the market if it did. It's a big squeeze. Nice bids off those loads today. Happy with that. How are we doing on the likes here? I haven't even looked. It's a better day than I thought we'd get. I'll be honest. I thought it would be a dud today before FOMC. Thought it would be a complete dud. Right, we're almost there. Almost there. So we need another 100 likes. Alex, after the new Gamma ad on deep charts, do you think it would be worth it? Also with the deep dom. I mean, I've heard good things about them, but like, I will not be leaving NinjaTrader. It's my go-to. I don't want to learn new software all over again, but lots of people really love them. I can't talk positively or negatively about it because I haven't used them, but they look very good, and I think the ad of the Gamma levels will be very useful. Up 4K on 100K eval. Nice work. What's my best advice for trading in general? I don't know, really. It's quite a broad question. Just being patient. Just not forcing trades, right? So like knowing that, you know, if we'd built out better liquidity here, we could have got short. It didn't happen, so I didn't chase. Right now, once we hit the expected move, I'm less willing to look at short because the chance of us moving lower is 20%. Right, the chance of us coming back into range is 80%. Right, so I'm suddenly like thinking, okay, well, if they show me a failure pattern here, then I want to get long. So, you know, there's your first failure pattern. They have another go, and again they fail, and then we have this low volume node. So the patience keeps you out of chasing. If you're still if you don't understand enough, and you're still looking short down here, right? When there's clear absorption, and think about this on a daily. Where did we trade into today? 27.6s. I'm going to take you to a daily. All right, 27.6s. Right into this little node. All right, well beyond Bollinger Band, right? Well beyond the daily Bollinger Band. The chances of us closing underneath this are low, right? We like to do this move, this move, this move, this move, this move, right? We don't like to get very, very heavy down here. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like, there are times where we get black swan events. Now, I still think we can make our way down here. It would be nice. It'd be very nice to make our way down to there. We are getting closer and closer. It's funny, when I was calling this, when I was saying that this could happen, it's the wrong tool. When I was saying this could happen 3-4 weeks ago in the newsletter, you should see some of the emails I got back. Oh, it's never going to happen. We're only going higher. 30,000 will hold. You know who you are if you're here emailing me that. Well, we're now 11% down. It's only, right, another 11.26. It's another 1.30%, which is a normal sell day until we hit RBS, right? Until we hit 200 day. Now, it might not get there. It might be that we recover and then we come down again. It might be that we recover and we hold. But I tell you what, I'm not doing. I'm not a buyer once we leave that long term. I'm a buyer here. I'm certainly a buyer down here. And I'm a buyer on a hold, reclaim of it. So it's just about patience, like understanding what's going on in the market, putting a good narrative together, letting the trades come to you, not forcing them, let them come to you. Sometimes you don't get filled, like me today. Like, where was it? Here? I can't remember where it was. It was here, wasn't it? Was it here? I think it was here. One of these. Here or here? Here, I think. I got filled once, took some, wanted to fill in this. Didn't come in, so I didn't get it. That's okay. I know, right, after a strong push like that, we will retrace. I will have another opportunity to get long. Okay, and then we get it. It's having that kind of mentality. Rage baited via email. No, just some people say, mate, you'd be amazed what I get via email. Death threats, like all sorts of stupid stuff. People get brave. Like I've just emailed someone today who's tried to scam me, and I've just said to them, I will be reporting you to the authorities. Like you will get reported now. I will report you. You think you've got away with it, but you haven't. I will be reporting you. You know who you are if you're watching. I will be reporting you to Chase Bank and having you banned and to the authorities. There's lots of idiots out there. There are lots of idiots out there. It's unfortunate. It's the world we live in. Max, my address is Flowzone Trader at No Chance Road, number 69. As if. As if, mate. Okay, starting to peak out a little bit. They're still trying to build for this move higher at the moment. Semi's still lifting. Do I sell merch? No, I don't. How do you deal with the hesitation? What you mean missing it? Hesitating and missing it. I mean, I don't mind missing it when it doesn't fill me. It's annoying when I do hesitate. It's part of it. You've just got to know that you need to be taking, if you're going to be in this game, you have to be taking every setup when it shows. When it's your setup and it shows, you have to take it. When it's your setup and it shows, you have to take it. All right. What do traps look like? Micro time frame. What do traps look like? All right. You have to take it, because if you don't get this one and it gives you another chance, you have to take it. You cannot sit on the sidelines. Otherwise, you're never going to put risk out there. And then what you end up doing is chasing a subpar setup. Remember, deep discount, right? Deep discount down here. We want to be buyers after this, right? Fair value now. Now it's a battle. If we think about what this is now, I'm going to remove this now because we've been here long enough. This is now a battle of value traders, right? Are we going to get acceptance through here and come up to here? All right, this is yesterday's value. Are we going to get through that? Are we going to poke and fail and rotate? Both of these are possible. I don't really want to be a buyer here when we know value was nice and cheap down here, right? We got a cheap auction. Value changes all the time. Auction's always moving. But I now no longer want to be a buyer. Now, that doesn't mean it can't come higher. There are absolutely stops to run, but this is very thick. This shouldn't be that easy to get through. And we've had the main moves, and we've got lunch. Why keep forcing, you know? Well, VIX is stuck at 18s. Yeah, I would agree. If it loses 18s, it's basically every 50s, right? 1750 and then 17s. But 18s, it's stuck at 18s right now. Do I use fixed risk? No. I mean, I don't understand people that do use fixed risk. How can you use a fixed risk? Market doesn't care about your blind risk, does it? It cares about swing points. What was the most difficult loss I ever took with the never again? Adding into losers on short squeezes. I used to do that all the time. I wish I learned that lesson first time. It cost me so much. Sometimes it would let me out, break even, but sometimes it cost me tens of thousands of dollars. That was definitely the hardest. What week in August does the volume start to come back? What historically? Let's have a look. Remember, it's an unusual year this year as well because it's a midterm. All right, semis coming for this shelf check now. And they can come up to previous day low. And if they reclaim previous day low, it would be like NQ. It would be a failure to break lower and an inside bar. All right, understand what's going on right now. If we go to a daily, we are now an inside bar. We went from outside to inside. We went from outside to inside. If they hold this, we can travel up and check this for the next gut check. Doesn't have to be today. Maybe into FOMC. I don't think he does rate hikes tomorrow. I know everyone's calling for it. I think he does nothing. I don't know what's going to happen if he does rate hikes. Oh my God, it could be very bad, especially on earnings. All right, so through POC, so you're coming to this thick level. Remember, I'm out of this now. Maybe some of you are still holding. Third week of August, JD. All right, after options expiry, the 17th to 21st is normally where it starts to pick up. But it doesn't normally return fully until September, historically. Early September, more normalization. Come to the conclusion nothing comes good after 12:30 Eastern in the market. I don't know, man. We've had some really good moves the last few weeks in the afternoon sessions. Really, really, really good weeks. Like, it's been pretty fantastic, the afternoons. I know the guys in Discord have been crushing it in the afternoon sessions. Yeah, there you go, Murph. I mean, Murph's in Discord. We always get something. Even if it's the Alex trade, we get something. All right, drifting. You just hold on as long as you can now. This is very thick in here. I would be surprised if they cut through this quickly, all right, because this is very thick. And then beyond that, let me just take the profile from this week. And it's not too bad, actually, over... We shrink this down a bit over this. It thins out over the top of that grey box. So thick volume here, and then potentially a push through that towards 170, 200. And that is where we're expecting today. Options traders are saying 212 for current day. From the open, we were saying 245. And from yesterday's close, we were saying 354. That would be quite the squeeze if we got 354. How did I know the bottom was the expected move? Or how did I know that area? It's just based on options. So you can do it based on the previous day, pre-market, or current open. So I always mark out all of it. So this was basically previous day and pre-market. So it lined up well. So it was good confluence that would be potentially be the bottom today. All right. And this was pre-market and yesterday, that potentially should be the high of day. Doesn't have to be. It's like a bell curve. It doesn't always work, right? It's just statistically there is some edge in there. So we don't always like looking for shorts beyond that unless there's a clear break. You know, if we built out liquidity here and there's a clear break and retest and we fail to get back inside, then we can think, okay, this is the 20% chance of moving lower. But once we keep doing this and failing to break, that's a good sign. The only thing that would have made me look for this trade was the 100 move on SOXL, which didn't come. It didn't come. They front ran it. Oh, I'm going to regret getting out of this at this point. There's another 50 points. Is this a Nasdaq sell area? Will there be any short opportunities as a sell area? I mean, we're back inside a value. I mean, it's an area of where we chopped before, but you know, momentum's definitely shifted. I would say really, we're in very bullish order flow, right? And pullbacks can keep holding now. Right, they can keep holding. Now that will change if you see significant volume trapped up here and maybe we move value higher and then we fail, then we can look for that return back in. I would say this level here is now key. This is your next like LVN for the day, which is previous day's low. So maybe there's a return into here, but they can still bid that back out. I'd say that's basically your over under now, 940s. Did we make a full 10% off highs? More than that. 11.25% pullback off highs. Looking to upgrade my super bike. Benoni or the R1. I've tested the S1000RR, but didn't like it much. Any other manufacturers? I checked the Kawasaki, Aprilia. You mean the Yamaha one? So you're already testing that. Ducati maybe. I'm not a big superbike guy. Obviously I've got the ZZR, but prefer cruisers. Otherwise I go way too fast. You cannot drive superbike slow. It's impossible. You open up that throttle and you're doing a wheelie. Did I hear about single stock futures? I did. They're live, but there's not much volume on them yet. So you'll find most of the firms will be waiting for volume to be traded on them before they make them available. Guys, we're only like 100 likes away from doing the giveaway. Can we just get it there? We're at 1,100. We just need 1,200. That's all we need. Indian scout bobber. I'm not a fan of Indians personally. I don't know why. Just they've never appealed to me. They've just never appealed to me. But they're great bikes. They just don't. I don't know what it is. They just don't appeal to me. I'm a Triumph guy. I know I've got a Harley here, but I'm a Triumph guy really. Would I rather look at previous week or current week? Well, that would all depend where we're positioned. We can't look at previous week right now because we're not there, are we? Right? There's no volume from previous week, right? The low of previous week was up at what, like 200 or something? Where's previous week's low? This is previous week's low. No. 220 or something like that, right? 220. Oh, it's in here. It's underneath this. So we can't look at previous week's value area because we're not there. We're underneath it. So we can only look at the last few days or the current week. It doesn't offer us anything by looking back. All right, nice work, team, getting us all the likes up. So, as a thank you back to you guys, as always, we're going to do a giveaway. All right, just type FZT once. That's the code to use for all your favorite prop firms. Apex, Lucid, FundedNext, Tradeify, Trade Day. FZT will get you best. My Fund of Futures get you best discount. For Take Profit Trader, you can use code FlowZone. Every time you use that code, it goes back into the channel. I appreciate you guys. It means I do this for free to help you guys. That's my way of giving back. So it's a nice exchange. Costs you nothing. Guys, a couple more minutes. See how we're getting a little bit stuck up here at this high volume node. All right, let's pick this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joe Mo Mojo 08. Joe Mo Mojo 08. God, that's a tongue twister. Joe Mo Mojo 08. Joe Mo Mojo. Let me know you're here in chat. Joe Mo Mojo. Joe Mo Mojo 08. Let me know you're here. Hey. All right. Congratulations. You know the score. info@flowzonetrader.com. Email me. Screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. And I'll sort you out the code for a free Apex account. You can use anyone you want. They now have the legacy accounts back. If you're interested in that, I think that might be limited time only. They have the trail ones, and they also have the newer end of day drawdown. So you can use whichever one you want. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, a few minutes left until lunch. We're basically there, folks. Quartz, the spammers get pulled out. I say it all the time. I just don't even bother saying it. So Nightbot instantly pulls them out of the competition. It just puts lines through and doesn't pull. You only enter once. They can type it in 1,000,000 times. It would only enter them once. And if they spam it, they get pulled out. It's all done automatically. W formation, retest the sellers, also an LVM before going. That's how you caught the long. In hindsight, it's perfectly obvious and it lines up with the flow zones, but where's the stop? The stop is underneath. You mean in this one here? All right, so I wait. I don't get long in this drive down. All right, the long comes in the reaction afterwards. So I'm not limiting in here. I'm waiting for the reaction. All right, and once I see the reaction, I'm starting to get some position in and I'm risking this. Right, and once we push and pull, I'm starting to add some more. All right, and then I can pull my stop up if there's like a new LVN, for example, or I see significant selling quarter lows, I can move my stop up. And once we start accelerating away, I can get break even and then I can start trimming. Yeah. I don't buy. It is very, 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 very rare that I will have a limit on the way down unless I'm very, very confident that it's going to tag and go. So I wait for this shape, right? And I'm long this side of it so that I can have set risk, right? So I forego the best possible position so that I can control risk. That makes sense? Go for it, Phoenix. Sometimes it's annoying, Mike, because it means that I don't, you know, I could have just said, like, what did I say? 80s test. I could have just hammered in here, right? And I would have had the best possible position. But then how do I manage my risk? You could do it and risk VWAP in that case, but I would much rather wait for the confirmation. It's just it's how I trade. It's how I trade all the time. We've gone over that already, yeah. The single stock futures, yeah. I'm very, very interested in trading the single stock futures once enough volume goes onto them. At the moment, they're very, very thin. Yes, I will be interested, especially in stuff like Apple, where it's just a no-brainer, where it's very, very easy to position an Apple. Apple tends to respect its level. I used to trade Apple all the time. Respects its levels well. It doesn't have the same exposure to what's going on. It's much more slow and steady. So I will be interested. Phoenix, okay, yeah, it's probably a liquidity provider. Phoenix, I know exactly who you're talking about. I've seen him on the tape as well. It's probably a liquidity provider. So if he's doing it more than 60% of his orders are spoofed, and he was a real person, he would be banned. The CME would find out where he's from and be banned. It's more likely that it's a market maker providing liquidity. Now, you can use the light version on Bookmap, which will get rid of that. The reason I don't like that is I'm still interested in the liquidity providers because price is A, still attracted to them, and B, sometimes still fills them, right? So they might not fill, not fill, not fill. Then maybe we get this 200 and 600 lot fill. Now, if that fills with an aggressive buyer, we know there's going to be 800 lots traded buy side between 28.80, 28.90, regardless of whether it's a market maker or liquidity provider or not. That is important information. If you use the light version of Bookmap, it won't provide you with that. So sometimes it's good to have it. That's why I don't use the light version. Alex, I'm up $3,187 on my 50K funded. I keep trading normal or do my daily and call it a day. How do you approach that situation? Try to understand what you're saying. You're asking, should you keep trading or do you call it a day? Are you up 3,187 today on a 50K? I would say call it a day, mate, because your drawdown on a 50K is either $2,000 or $2,500, which means you're up, what, 150% or something more than? That's absolutely insane. It's brilliant. Call it a day, mate. That's very good money. All right. You do $4,000 a day. You'll make you a millionaire. So, you know, you don't need to keep pushing. Chill, man. Chill, chill, chill. No, I don't trade with ATES, Aaron. They've asked me numerous times, but look, it's not that any of these things aren't good. All right. Other tools, but it's just that I'm an old boy. All right, I've traded on NinjaTrader, TradingView, Bookmap for a very, very, very long time. It's like moving from Mac to PC, or it's like moving from Photoshop to something other than Adobe. I don't want to learn all the new stuff. It doesn't mean that it's not good. I just don't want to do it. I do not want to do it. Phoenix, sometimes they literally have to provide liquidity. All right, so their job is to provide liquidity to the market. All right. So they're having to provide that liquidity in case people want to buy up there. Lots of questions here that we've gone over. Have I seen the Lucid dailies? I've seen they're on there, but I haven't checked them out fully. Do you want to do it now on stream? We can do it now on stream if you want. Let's do it. Let's do it together on stream. Let's look at these new Lucid dailies because I haven't really done it. So let's give it some due care and attention and see what's going on and if they're any good for you guys. Okay. Can't even see it there now. Have they got rid of them? They were up there. Have they gone? Oh, you have to log in. Oh, that's a bit silly. Let me log in then. My portal. Launch dashboard. Where do we go? Add account. Okay, dailies. We're focused on 50k, shall we? So profit target 3,000, max loss 2,000. Drawdown in eval. Oh, do you get to choose? Ah, that's cool. So you can choose the drawdown in eval. Quite like that. Daily loss limit. Well, if you're going to be aggressive, you might as well do end of day and off, so you don't need to worry about a daily loss limit. Consistency 50%, so you pass in 2 days. Daily payouts. No consistency in funded. Funded rules. Max loss 2,000. No daily loss limit. Intraday. So it's basically exactly the same as TPT. So it's intraday until you get to 2,000. Max size 4. Which might be the same as TPT. I'm trying to remember. Is TPT 4? Might be the same. $135. Let me see what it is. How much does that cost with the code? Yeah, still 135 with FZT. So how does that compare to take profit trader right now? $102. What's the difference then? Slightly cheaper. It's cheaper right now. I'm just being honest with you. It's slightly cheaper. It's 30 bucks cheaper or 35 bucks cheaper at Take Profit Trader. That's the only difference. Yeah, code flow zone at TPT removes the activation fee. Correct. So they're very, very similar. They're both great products. There's a $30 difference basically or something like that. That's the only difference. Is there a limit on daily payouts? Hang on, my friend. I will check for you. Good point. Good point. Good point. Let me have a look. Where is... See if we can get an FAQ here that will say... Lucid daily payouts. Go over it here and do it together. Well, that's better. 90% split. So that's in Lucid's favor. TPT is 80% split until you go live. $100 over your buffer. Must have a positive net profit between each payout. That doesn't make a difference. There you go. There is a limit. So $8,000 for a 50K. Each day. If you meet or exceed the daily amount, you're automatically moved live. Okay, so let's work that out. That would be max daily payout of 8,000. You only keep, it's going to be so close, guys, because it's going to be, what's the buffer on this? What did it say? 2,000, is it? 2,100. So 5,900, right? 8,000 minus 2,100, 5,900 times 90. So you get to keep $5,310 of your max payout. And I think that is actually more than the max on it is. The max payout, if you hit 10K on TPT, it's 4,400. So you keep an extra $900. So you get paid an extra $900 if you hit. So that extra $30 at checkout equates to an extra $900 if you hit max target. It's pretty good. It's just, I would say, use both, right? Use both. They're both great. I love TPT. Am I getting live? Yeah, I'm going live. I'm just waiting for TPT to sort it. They will probably take a bit of time, which is fine. No big deal. So I can't trade my account at the moment. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's 90% on Lucid. We literally just went over it. That's why I did the calculation for you. Alex, if you have 1K, should you try trade in a live account or funded account? I would say use prop firms, mate, because 1K with the margin that you require is not going to do a lot for you. Whereas the leverage you will get at prop firms will be much better for you. Well, sir, we have hit the point where Apex does not like me anymore. 22K this month, moving me to live. TPT, here I come. Brandon, though, that is high five. Fantastic. That's beautiful. That's what I want to hear. That's progression for you. $22,000 this month. Move on to TPT now, or Lucid, do the same thing there. Right? It's fantastic, mate. That's so good. Proud of you, buddy. Great work. Great work. Another big success out the channel. SOXL getting slapped, is it? Let me have a look. Sorry, I've been focused on this stuff with you. I mean, it fell previous day low, but it's still holding higher lows, right? So it's still above the 110s. 110s is basically your over-under on SOXL. So it failed previous day low. So basically, it's the same area. Where we got stuck here, it failed there, this high volume node. It's the same area, which is previous day low for SOXL. It's pulling back. It can still hold 110s, which is probably the equivalent of down here. So I like there might be a trade down here, but at the moment we're holding value and point of control. So the idea of looking short there's a lack of confluence. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us come in there, but all the time they're holding this, value can migrate higher. But I personally would not be surprised to see this kind of move here and see what they do later in the day, or if they rotate it, especially for tomorrow. I'm probably done for the day. 8K is huge for a 50K. Yeah, but the thing is, if you get into a trend day, all right, and you're aggressive, right? Let's say you start here. Just an example. Let's say you start here and you got filled here and you traded one mini and you're risking 20 points. There's $400 of risk, right, for one mini. All right, that one mini, if you got the full move, you got 376 points. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's almost it without even adding in to a pullback. All right. And this is where the big payouts come. When we have this much volatility, right, and you can afford to let the play go, is where the big payouts come. It's just always the way. But it's a huge amount. But if you're aggressive and you're willing to let it work, then That'd be it. For Pro Plus, do they move you after a certain amount of money for Pro or other factors? It's multiple things. So if you make $10,000 in a day, they move you to Pro Plus. If you take consistent payouts, they move you to Pro Plus. If they can see, even if you're trading beforehand and they like how you're trading, they'll move you to Pro Plus. Right? If they don't want to waste, remember, all the time you're in sim and making money, they're losing money from you because they're not actually making money from you. Right? So the moment you show consistency or they like the strategies or whatever, they will move you. But it's up to discretion. As with all these things, it's their firm, they can do what they want. Alex, my funded futures Rapid is $125, 10K profit, no consistency in funded. Oh, Jamie, I've got to check that out. Yeah, I haven't given my funded futures enough of my focus. I've got to check that out. That's very good as well. Code FZT there as well will help you out. People here are smashing 22K in a month and I'm still trying to get my first payout. Hey, but Phoenix, it's one of those things, mate. I will tell you now for all of you. Once you start getting that first payout, as long as you've been trading the correct way in getting there, everything will start to open up for you because you will be putting all this pressure on yourself about that first payout and focusing on the profit. Once you start focusing, right, on the setups, the payouts will start to come regularly. All right, because you will be focused on the setups, not on the money. And once you focus on the setup and not the money comes. It's funny that it's always the way, and it gets easier and easier because the anxiety starts to dissipate. You start to not really care about eating losses like I do. You see me eat losses all the time. You start to not care because you know it's a matter of time till you hit the winner and get paid again. Max, you can withdraw from a TPT 150K. I think it's still only 10K in a single day. I don't know what they might let you draw more out over time. I've certainly had my balance well over that over time. I think I was at 15K only last month before that funded next fuck up, which really pissed me off. But again, it's down to their stats. And my funded futures solid option, yeah, they are very, very solid option. I think I've got a video on them. I don't know what they're offering right now. I'd have to have a look. Rapid plan, 50K with code FZT is $78. Trading rules for the rapid plan are profit target 3K, drawdown 2K, drawdown end of day, max position 5, microscaling available, consistency rule 50% in eval, so pass in 2 days, and in funded, no consistency rule, no daily drawdown, no scaling rule. There you go. Rapid look very good. They're cheap. $78 with code FZT. Very, very good. All right, last few questions I'm going to get out of here. Do all your TBT accounts get moved liquidated when they move you to live? No. You can have up to 5 live accounts and you can still have stuff in reserve as well. Did I say the end of day drawdown is better with Lucid? No, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. The draw for the daily payouts is exactly the same. It's trailing drawdown until you get past the buffer. The only difference is the amount of the 90% profit split, basically. Rapid $78 including fee. Let me double check that for you. I think so. Rapid 50K. Yeah, no activation fee. Yeah, that's including fee. No activation fee. So FZT, no activation fee. Can you trade on TradingView? You can execute on TradingView if you use CQG, yes, as data. You'd have to log in. I don't do that personally, but you'd have to. Do I like FundedNext? Love FundedNext. Anyone down below right now, look, Apex, FundedNext, Lucid, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, My Funded Futures, Trade Day. That's who I recommend. I don't recommend people outside of that. That's who I recommend. Those are the guys who will pay you. I'm on 70 accounts blown in 1 year. No payouts yet. In hindsight, if I moved size and just took my time, I'd have done it by now. But I've learned and improved, and now I'm sure. There you go. It's what I preach all the time. Slow your size down. Everyone gets so obsessed with, I've got a 50K account, I've got a 150K account. I'm managing $1 million of accounts. No, you're not. You're managing the drawdown, and that's it. That's all you're managing, the risk. So on a 50K account, fact of the matter is when you start, you're managing $2,000. All right. So you got to be slow. If you're going to try and make $2,000 in a day, that'd be 100% return. Remember, the average market moves 11% a year. So you're way outperforming the market. All right. That's what happens when you're using leverage. You want to be smart. If someone hasn't been paid, there's always a reason behind it. I don't know what that reason is. I'm not going to even get into it. I don't even know who that person is, billionaire. But there's always a reason. It's never as simple as people say. There you go. Tough, be bold. I passed my first account when I trade maxed 2 micros. It took me 3 months, but then I got a payout. There you go. Slow and steady. Be the tortoise in the race. Do I have advice for trading 20 accounts? Not really. You just got, yeah, you will get slippage with copy traders. You just want to be very careful. It's part of it. The worst thing with copy trading is when one slips and the other doesn't, or one fills a limit and the other doesn't, and you get done for hedging when the hedge lasts seconds while the copy trader fixes it. So the more accounts you trade, the harder it is, the more problems you're going to have. That's where market orders are probably going to be your best friend, but obviously then you will get slipped even more. Do I remember how many accounts I blew before payout? Well, I very first started trading with, what's the English firm called? I don't think they exist anymore. I can't think what the firm's called. And I was copying 5 and I was slinging because I didn't understand the sizing. It was when I first moved to futures, and I definitely blew a lot there. Definitely blew a lot there before I started figuring it out. Do I copy? Yeah, I'll copy trademark. If I like the setup, I'll copy trade. If I don't like the setup or I don't like the day, I might trade 1 by 1. You're off to play pickleball. Nice. Good luck with that. Last time I played pickleball, put my back out. What was my aha moment? I don't know if there's a single aha moment, but just understanding higher time frame. The big aha moment. Like understanding the higher time frame, the power the higher time frame has. You nailed the short. What, you just took this? There's 2 trades here at the moment. There's IB up and there's this down. I think this is going to try and come down here. This is what I think. I think this is what I've said the whole time. I think it will try to come down there. Whether it's all going to depend on previous day value area low. All right, because if they're going to reject this LVN here, this is now a lower high. This is previous day value area low. If they let go of this, I think there's a chance to come down to here. And if they let go of that, then we're going to rotate the VWAPs. And that's what I think is trying to set up at the moment. If they fail to do that, the trap will live in here to go up, or the trap will live in here to go up. But I think there is a trade to here at the moment over lunch, but I'm certainly not going to be trading it. But if you just took that short there, I can't remember who just said they just got in. I'd be like TP1, where you are right now, previous day value area low. And if you get acceptance over it, underneath it, sorry, you can look for 950 to 920. And under that, you can look for basically 870 and 820. And here it comes. All right, so that's your TP1. This will be TP2. How do traders make the world a better place? How do you make the world a better place, Max? You tell me, how are you making the world a better place? How's the shoulder these days? It's sticky still, mate. I have to be careful with it. I can't lift as heavy as I used to. I have to be careful with it. Stealing from the rich. Do I think Arsenal buy Vinny? I'd be surprised if he'd leave. I know he wasn't happy last year, but depends if he wants to play with Mourinho or not, I guess. Alex, I found 5 TPT live accounts. Live accounts, and I reloaded. Live? You mean pro accounts, not pro plus. Should I reload 150Ks or 50Ks due to smaller drawdowns on live? I don't know, mate. Like that's all up to you. I can't give you advice on that. It all depends what lot size you like to play and how you like to trade. I really can't tell you. Obviously 50Ks are cheaper, but if you'd like to trade bigger lot sizes, then you're going to need the 150s. Oh yeah, I've given acupuncture, mate. The only thing that's going to fix it, truly, it's probably going to be surgery. All right, folks, that's be it. I stayed an extra half an hour with you guys. I'm going to get out of here. What I'd be looking for the rest of the day is very simple. Are they willing to hold above previous day low? Do they use this as a trap zone and reclaim value? And are they going to look for this move? Right? That would be one possible outlook. The second one would be, if they aren't willing to hold this, right, are we just going to rotate back down and sort of chop around in here for the day inside value and wait for tomorrow? I don't think we trade lower today. I just can't see that happening. It's possible, I guess. You can consider that, but I don't think this move's coming today unless something changes. I think it's either going to be sort of a trap kind of move, and then you can think about the expansion, or it's going to just be stuck in here for tomorrow, which is why I'm not really interested in the afternoon today. I think everyone's going to hold their breath now. As a reminder, let's have a look at what the earnings are tonight. Nothing really major tonight. I am interested in SoFi before the open tomorrow because I am obviously long it at the moment. How are we holding up today on that? Have I got whacked on it? About 1% down, but still up on the swing. Looks good. And after close tomorrow is when all the fun and games start, right? Microsoft, Meta, Hood, ARM, Qualcomm. And then Thursday after close, Apple, Amazon. Those are the big ones. So be watching those, folks. All right. All right, team. Big love. Trade safe. Use hard stops. All that good stuff. I will see you tomorrow. Don't overstay your welcome. We've had Some beautiful trades today. You do not need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. All right, the liquidity is going to come tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, Thursday. Those are when the moves are going to come. Just be sensible. Peace and love, everyone. Don't forget, use code FZT for all your favorite prop firms. It helps me do stuff like this for free, and I appreciate the support. Peace out.